This is your need to know. This is your need to know.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This time, we're taking a look at a handful of recent news stories, but not just summarizing them. No, we're going to extract the truly mind-blowing implications for you and what they might mean for the future.
Exactly. Hold on to your hats because we're going to cover some seriously groundbreaking stuff.
Get ready for some surprises. Because even we were blown away by what we learned prepping for this one.
Let's dive right in. First up, we've got animal cells doing something straight out of science fiction. Photosynthesizing.
Seriously, animal cells making their own food from sunlight. How is that even possible?
It's a huge breakthrough. Scientists in Japan have figured out how to get chloroplasts, the parts of plant cells that do photosynthesis, to actually function inside animal cells.
I thought that was impossible, like trying to mix oil and water.
Right. The challenge was that animal cells usually destroy chloroplasts, but the team found a type of chloroplast from red algae that could survive the warmer temperatures of animal cells.
So they found a heat-resistant chloroplast. But how did they get it inside the animal cell?
They tricked the animal cells into ingesting the chloroplasts as food. It's like a cellular Trojan horse.
Clever. So now we've got animal cells that are basically part plant.
Yeah.
What are the implications of this?
The implications are huge, especially for things like lab-grown meat. One of the biggest challenges in growing tissues for lab-grown meat is getting enough oxygen to the cells in those dense clusters. They basically suffocate.
Right, so how does this help?
Imagine if those cells could produce their own oxygen through photosynthesis. No more suffocation, meaning we could grow way larger and more complex tissues.
That would be a game changer. What about beyond lab-grown meat, any other potential uses?
Think about medical applications. Imagine photosynthetic cells implanted near the heart, powered by a tiny LED to help heart disease patients by delivering oxygen directly where it's needed. We could even use this to help damaged organs heal faster.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. No human photosynthesis yet, but it feels like we're taking a huge step towards merging plant and animal biology. What's next?
Next, we're jumping to Mars. We all dream of a green Mars, right? But scientists are suggesting a surprising location for the first Martian forests. Hellas Basin.
Hellas Basin, that's a giant impact crater, right? Yeah. Why there? I always imagined the first Martian forests would be closer to the equator.
It turns out Mars plays by different rules than Earth because of Mars's elliptical orbit. The southern hemisphere gets a super long summer with intense sunlight when the planet is closest to the sun.
Okay, so more sunlight, but why Hellas Basin specifically?
It's actually the depth of the basin that makes it so interesting. It offers a degree of atmospheric protection, creating a surprisingly stable, potentially hospitable environment for tree growth.
So it's like a natural greenhouse down there. That's pretty cool, but let's be real. Terraforming Mars is still a huge undertaking. What are some of the challenges?
Oh, there are plenty. We'd need to boost the atmospheric pressure by about 16 times. That's a lot of air. And then there's the problem of temperature regulation. Mars has wild temperature swings between day and night, which would be tough on any plants trying to grow there.
Yeah, that's not exactly a walk in the park. And what about water? Where are we going to get enough water to sustain a whole forest on Mars?
That's a big hurdle, too. We'd need to find a reliable water source on Mars, maybe underground ice, or figure out how to transport massive amounts of water from Earth.
So it sounds like terraforming Mars, even in just one location like Hellas Basin, is a monumental engineering challenge.
It is. And that's not even considering the challenge of finding plant species that could actually thrive in those conditions. But hey, it's a goal we're striving for.
Imagine walking through a Martian forest someday. What a wild thought. All right, what's the next stop on our deep dive into the future?
Time for a mind-bending discovery. A single-celled organism that existed over 1 billion years ago is showing us that the building blocks of complex life might be way older than we thought.
A single-celled organism. Okay, I'm intrigued, but how does that connect to complex life? We're talking about something that's basically just a little blob, right?
Think again. This organism called Chromosphaera perkinsii might look simple, but it's doing something incredible. Once these cells reach a certain size, they divide without growing, forming multicellular colonies that look shockingly like animal embryos.
Whoa, wait a minute. So this ancient single-celled creature is forming colonies that resemble embryos? That doesn't seem possible.
It's wild, right?
Yeah.
And remember, this organism existed long before animals even appeared on Earth.
So what does this tell us about how complex life evolved?
It's a game changer. This discovery suggests a couple of mind-blowing possibilities. Maybe the genetic programs for embryonic development existed way before animals evolved.
So the potential for complex life was just waiting to be activated. That's incredible.
Or maybe this organism independently evolved a similar process to embryonic development. That means nature found multiple ways to invent complex life.
Either way, this is shaking up what we thought we knew about the origins of multicellularity.
Exactly, and it opens up the possibility that complex life might be more common in the universe than we ever imagined.
Okay, mind officially blown. I'm gonna need a minute to process this.
Take your time. It's a lot to digest. While you're doing that, let's shift our focus to the vastness of space. We've finally figured out what turned on the lights in the early universe, and it's not what anyone expected.
Okay, I'm all ears. What do you mean by turned on the lights?
Well, the early universe was filled with this fog of neutral hydrogen that blocked light. It was basically a cosmic dark age. So the question was what cleared it out and allowed starlight to shine.
So it's like someone flipped a switch and suddenly starlight could travel freely through the universe. But who flipped that switch?
Scientists originally thought it was powerful sources like massive black holes or huge super bright galaxies that did the trick.
Makes sense you'd need some serious firepower to clear out all that hydrogen fog, so what changed?
New data from the James Webb Space Telescope revealed a surprising culprit: tiny dwarf galaxies.
Dwarf galaxies. Those little guys. I thought they were too small to have that kind of impact on the universe.
That's what everyone thought. But it turns out dwarf galaxies are far more abundant and way brighter than we previously believed.
So it wasn't the big flashy galaxies that made the difference. It was the sheer number of these little powerhouses.
Exactly. It's a classic underdog story on a cosmic scale. And because there are so many of them, their collective radiation was enough to clear the fog and let starlight shine.
That's amazing. It completely changes our understanding of galaxy evolution and the early universe. Now, I know you said we have a lot to get through, but I have to ask, what's next?
Next, we need to come back down to Earth, literally, with some sobering news. Thwaites Glacier, a giant ice sheet in Antarctica, is melting faster than we thought.
I've heard of Thwaites. Isn't it sometimes called the Doomsday Glacier? What's the latest?
It's nicknamed that for a good reason. If Thwaites collapses, it could raise global sea levels by over 2 feet, which would be devastating for coastal cities and island nations all over the world.
2 feet doesn't sound like a lot. But I know that even a small rise in sea level can have huge consequences.
Exactly. And here's the scary part. Scientists have discovered that warm tidal currents are reaching miles under the glacier, weakening its anchor to the seabed.
So the ocean is basically eating away at the glacier from below. Yikes. What does this mean for the future?
It means that the worst-case scenarios for sea level rise might be happening sooner than we thought. This is a stark reminder of the urgency of climate change and the need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
It's a sobering thought. The decisions we make today will have consequences for generations to come. All right, before we get too bogged down in doom and gloom, tell me about what else we're covering today.
Let's head back out into the cosmos. How about a mystery that's closer to home? Evidence is mounting for a hidden 9th planet lurking in our locusum.
Planet 9. Okay, I'm hooked. What have scientists found?
It all started with some strange gravitational anomalies in the Kuiper Belt, a region of icy objects beyond Neptune. Astronomers noticed that some of these objects are behaving in ways that suggest a large, unseen planet is tugging on them.
It's like there's an invisible puppeteer out there messing with the orbits of these icy bodies. So what do we know about this potential planet?
Scientists have calculated that Planet 9 could be about 10 times the mass of Earth, making it a true planetary heavyweight. But it's also thought to be incredibly far away, orbiting hundreds of times farther from the sun than Earth.
So if it's so massive, why haven't we spotted it yet?
At that distance, it receives very little sunlight, making it incredibly faint and hard to detect with our current telescopes. It's like trying to find a firefly in a blackout.
But we're getting better at finding those fireflies, right?
Yes. New telescopes and advanced data analysis techniques are giving us a fighting chance of finally spotting this elusive world.
I can't wait to see what they find. Okay, I know we have a lot more to cover. What's next?
Well, let's take a detour back in time, about 76 million years to be exact. We're going to talk about the incredible strength of dinosaur armor. It was even tougher than we thought.
Dinosaur armor.
Yeah.
How tough are we talking?
think tank-level toughness. This discovery comes from an incredibly well-preserved fossil of a nodosaur, a type of armored dinosaur found in Canada.
Okay, so what makes this fossil so special?
It's so well preserved that scientists were able to analyze the keratin sheaths that covered the bony plates of its armor. Keratin is the same stuff that makes up our hair and nails, and it's incredibly rare to find it preserved in fossils.
So we're not just talking about bones, we're talking about the actual outer covering of the armor. That's amazing.
Exactly. It gives us a much more complete picture of what this dinosaur's armor was like. And get this, calculations suggest that the nodosaur's armor could withstand over 125,000 joules of energy per square meter.
What does that even mean in real-world terms?
Think of it this way. It's like surviving a high-speed car crash. This nodosaur was seriously built to last.
No kidding. But aside from just being really cool, does this tell us anything new about dinosaurs?
It completely changes our understanding of dinosaur armor. We used to think it was just about bony plates, but now we know that the keratin covering was also incredibly important.
So this one amazing fossil is giving us a whole new perspective on dinosaur defense mechanisms.
Exactly. It suggests that many other dinosaur species might have had similarly tough keratin coverings. It makes you wonder what other secrets are still hidden in the fossil record.
Speaking of things we might not be seeing, our next story is about a hidden threat that's a lot closer to home. It turns out cars are killing millions of bees every year.
It's a sobering statistic. Bees are essential pollinators for so many of the crops we rely on for food, and yet we're wiping them out without even realizing it.
Millions of bees. That's hard to even comprehend. How did researchers figure that out?
Scientists attached sticky traps to cars and drove thousands of miles, literally counting the number of bees they collected. One 230-mile trip resulted in the deaths of 175 bees.
Wow, that's tragic. It's like a bee massacre on wheels. What can we do to protect bees from this roadkill carnage?
This one might surprise you. The study suggests planting vegetation on the sides of roads rather than in the median. This creates a bee-friendly buffer zone that discourages bees from crossing roads and being hit by cars.
But a simple change in landscaping could save millions of bees. That's incredible. It's a reminder that even small changes can have a big impact.
It's all about understanding the interconnectedness of our world. What might seem insignificant to us can have a profound impact on the natural world.
Well, before we get too deep into that, we have one last stop on our deep dive into the future. Tell me, what's the good news?
Let's end on a note of hope. AI might be the key to overcoming one of the biggest challenges in achieving clean energy through nuclear fusion.
I'm always excited to hear about progress in fusion energy. It's like the holy grail of clean energy, but it's been so elusive. How is AI changing the game?
One of the biggest problems with fusion is controlling the plasma, which is a superheated state of matter that's incredibly unstable. It's like trying to hold lightning in a bottle.
And how does AI help with that?
Scientists have developed an AI system that can predict these plasma instabilities and prevent them in real time. It's like having an AI guardian angel watching over the fusion process, making sure things don't go haywire.
So AI is basically acting as a super fast, super smart control system, keeping the fusion reaction stable.
Exactly. And this breakthrough brings us one step closer to realizing the dream of near-limitless clean energy.
It's amazing how AI can be applied to such a wide range of problems. From helping to grow lab-grown meat to controlling nuclear fusion, it feels like AI is going to play a huge role in shaping the future.
There's no doubt about it. AI is a powerful tool that can be used for both good and bad. It's up to us to ensure that we use it responsibly and ethically.
That's a great point to end on. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the microscopic world of cells to the vastness of the universe. What are your thoughts? What stood out to you from these news stories?
It's remarkable how quickly things are changing, isn't it? We're living in an era of unprecedented scientific discovery and technological advancement. It's both exciting and a little bit daunting.
I agree. But I think the most important takeaways is that the future isn't something that just happens to us. We have the power to shape it, to make choices that will create a better world for ourselves and for generations to come.
Absolutely. Every discovery, every invention, every decision we make is a step towards the future.
So, what will your step be? We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be diving into even more mind-blowing discussion.
This is your need to know. This is your need to know.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're continuing our exploration of recent news stories with some truly mind-blowing implications for the future.
Get ready for more surprises. We're about to dive into everything from ancient humans to the mysteries of the universe.
All right, let's do it. What's first on the agenda?
Well, let's start with a discovery that's shaking up our understanding of human evolution. Scientists have identified a new species of ancient human called Homo bodoensis that lived in Africa about 500,000 years ago.
A new human ancestor. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Where does this Homo bodoensis fit into our family tree?
It's believed to be a direct ancestor of modern humans, helping to clarify a period in human evolution that's been pretty murky up until now.
So it's like finding a missing link in our evolutionary history. That's fascinating.
Exactly. It helps us understand how we got here and sheds new light on the complex story of human evolution.
It makes you wonder what other secrets are still waiting to be uncovered in the fossil record. Okay, what's next on our journey into the future?
How about a topic that's both captivating and a bit unsettling? The search for extraterrestrial life is heating up, and scientists are getting serious about the possibility of finding evidence of alien life forms.
Aliens. This is where we jump into science fiction, right?
Not quite. While we haven't found definitive proof of extraterrestrial life yet, the search is more sophisticated and determined than ever before.
So where are scientists looking for these potential alien life forms?
They're focusing on planets and moons that might have the right conditions for life as we know it. Think liquid water, a stable atmosphere, and a source of energy.
So it's like a cosmic real estate hunt for habitable planets.
Exactly. And there are billions of potentially habitable planets out there in the Milky Way galaxy alone. Scientists are using telescopes that can analyze the atmospheres of these distant worlds, looking for chemical signatures that might indicate the presence of life.
So we're talking about detecting alien life from light years away. That's incredible.
It is. And we're also sending probes to explore the surfaces of planets and moons in our own solar system, hoping to find evidence of even a microbial life.
It makes you wonder what kind of life might be out there just waiting to be discovered. What other mind-blowing news do we have?
Let's talk about a discovery that's forcing us to rethink our place in the cosmos. Scientists have confirmed that the universe is not only expanding, but it's doing so at an accelerating rate.
Whoa, wait a minute. I know the universe is big, but it's actually getting bigger.
It's one of the most profound discoveries in modern astronomy. Distant galaxies are moving away from us at increasing speeds, indicating that the universe is expanding faster and faster.
It's like the universe is a balloon that's being inflated at an ever-increasing rate. It boggles the mind. What's causing this accelerated expansion?
Scientists believe it's due to a mysterious force called dark energy, which makes up about 70% of the total energy density of the universe.
Dark energy. That sounds like something out of a superhero comic book.
It does, doesn't it? But it's a real phenomenon, and it's having a profound effect on the evolution of the universe.
So what does this mean for the future of the universe?
It means the universe will continue to expand, forever becoming increasingly cold and dark as galaxies drift farther and farther apart.
That's both awe-inspiring and a little bit eerie. The universe is a vast and mysterious place.
Speaking of vast and mysterious, our next story is about a discovery that's rewriting our understanding of how galaxies form. Astronomers have found a massive black hole in the early universe that's much bigger than it should be.
A massive black hole that's breaking the rules. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
This black hole is a cosmic behemoth. It's located about 1 billion years after the Big Bang and is estimated to be 1 billion times the mass of our sun.
1 billion times the mass of our sun. My brain can't even process that kind of scale.
It's almost unimaginable. And what's even more surprising is that this black hole is surrounded by a massive swirling disk of gas and dust that's forming stars at an astonishing rate.
So this black hole is basically a giant cosmic construction crew building a galaxy around itself. But you said it's bigger than it should be.
Right. Our current models of galaxy formation suggest that black holes shouldn't be able to grow this massive. So early in the universe, they're supposed to grow gradually over billions of years.
So this discovery is challenging everything we thought we knew about how galaxies and black holes form.
Exactly. It suggests that some black holes might be able to form much more rapidly than we previously thought.
This is another example of how much we still have to learn about the universe. It's full of surprises. What's next on our list?
Let's shift gears and talk about a development that could revolutionize the way we think about reproduction. Scientists are making significant progress in the field of artificial wombs.
Artificial wombs? That sounds like something straight out of science fiction.
It might sound futuristic, but it's closer than you think. An artificial womb, also known as ectogenesis, is a device that would allow a fetus to develop outside of a human body from conception to birth.
So basically like a high-tech incubator that could carry a pregnancy from start to finish.
Exactly. And while there are still many challenges to overcome, scientists are making remarkable strides in this area.
This is mind-blowing. What kind of impact could this technology have on society?
The implications are huge. Imagine a world where women could choose to have children without going through pregnancy, or where same-sex couples could have biological children without the need for surrogacy.
It could redefine what it means to be a parent and revolutionize reproductive rights, but I imagine there are also ethical concerns.
Absolutely. Artificial wombs raise a host of ethical and social questions. We need to have a serious conversation as a society about the potential risks and benefits of this technology.
It's a powerful reminder that with every technological advancement come new ethical dilemmas. We have a responsibility to ensure that these technologies are used ethically and for the benefit of all.
Well said. Now let's delve into another technological advancement that's both exciting and a bit unnerving, the rapid rise of artificial intelligence.
AI is everywhere these days, from our smartphones to our cars to our homes. It's transforming the way we live and work. What are the long-term implications of this AI revolution?
It's a question that's on everyone's mind. AI has the potential to solve some of the world's most pressing problems, from climate change to disease to poverty.
It's like having a super intelligent partner to help us tackle the big challenges facing humanity.
Exactly. But there are also concerns about the potential downsides of AI, like job displacement, algorithmic bias, and even the possibility of AI becoming so intelligent that it poses a threat to human existence.
Okay, now that's a little scary. Are we talking about a Terminator scenario here?
Not necessarily, but it's important to be aware of the potential risks of any powerful technology, especially one as transformative as AI.
So it's not just about building smarter machines. It's about building them responsibly and ethically.
Precisely. We need to ensure that AI is used for good and that its benefits are shared equitably. Otherwise, we risk creating a future where technology exacerbates existing inequalities.
It's a reminder that we're not just passive observers in the development of technology. We have a responsibility to shape its trajectory and ensure that it serves humanity, not the other way around.
Well said. Now let's explore a discovery that's pushing the boundaries of human potential, Sty. Financial scientists have developed a new technique that allows us to communicate directly with the brain.
Communicate directly with the brain. That sounds like telepathy. How does it work?
It's called neurofeedback, and it's a way for researchers to monitor brain activity in real time and provide feedback to the user.
So it's like giving your brain a personal trainer.
Exactly. And the applications are incredible. Neurofeedback is being used to help people with anxiety, depression, and ADHD learn to regulate their brain activity and improve their symptoms.
That's amazing. But I can also see how this technology could be misused.
It's true. Neurofeedback raises some interesting ethical questions about the extent to which we should be able to manipulate our own brain activity. As with any powerful technology, we need to proceed with caution and thoughtful consideration.
It's uncharted territory, and we need to make sure we're not going too far too fast.
Well, let's continue our exploration of uncharted territory with a topic that's both fascinating and a little bit unsettling, the increasing prevalence of deepfakes.
Okay, I've heard of deepfakes, but I'm still not sure I fully understand what they are. Can you explain it to me like I'm 5?
Imagine someone created a video of you saying or doing something that you never actually did. That's essentially what a deepfake is. It's a video or audio recording that's been manipulated using AI to make it look or sound like someone is doing or saying something they never actually did.
So it's like digital puppetry, where you can make anyone say or do anything you want.
That's the basic idea. And while deepfakes can be used for harmless fun, like creating funny memes or movie parodies, they also have the potential to be incredibly dangerous.
Dangerous. How so?
Imagine a deepfake video of a politician making inflammatory statements or a celebrity endorsing a product they've never heard of. Deepfakes can be used to spread misinformation, damage reputations, and even incite violence.
That's terrifying. It seems like deepfakes could erode trust in everything we see and hear online.
That's exactly the concern. As deepfakes become more sophisticated and harder to detect, it's becoming increasingly difficult to distinguish between what's real and what's fake.
So we're basically entering a world where we can't believe our own eyes or ears. What can we do to protect ourselves from this digital deception?
We need to be more vigilant than ever before, develop a critical eye for online content, question your sources, look for inconsistencies, and be wary of anything that seems too good to be true.
It's like we need to become digital detectives, always on the lookout for clues that might expose a fake. What else can we do?
We also need to hold social media platforms accountable for the content they need to develop better tools for detecting and removing deepfakes and take steps to prevent the spread of misinformation.
It's going to take a collective effort from individuals, tech companies, and governments to combat the threat of deepfakes. This is a battle for truth and authenticity in the digital age.
It's a battle we need to win. Now let's shift our focus to a new form of cybercrime that's targeting businesses and organizations. Ransomware attacks.
Ransomware attacks. I've heard about them in the news. They sound pretty scary. Can you break it down for me?
Imagine someone breaking into your computer system, encrypting all your data, and then demanding a ransom to give you back access. That's essentially what a ransomware attack is.
So it's like a digital kidnapping where your data is the hostage.
That's a great analogy. The attackers typically demand payment in cryptocurrency, which makes it very difficult to trace.
This sounds like a nightmare scenario. What kind of impact can these attacks have?
They can be devastating, especially for businesses that rely heavily on their digital systems. Imagine losing access to all your customer data, financial records, and operational systems. It could cripple a business and cost millions of dollars.
This is why cybersecurity is so important. But how can businesses protect themselves from these attacks?
It's all about being proactive. Businesses need to invest in robust cybersecurity systems, educate their employees about phishing scams and other social engineering tactics, and regularly back up their data.
It's a reminder that we can't take our digital security for granted. We need to be vigilant and take steps to protect ourselves from these evolving threats.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about a trend that's transforming the job market: the rise of automation.
Automation is a topic that's been generating a lot of discussion and debate. Some people see it as a threat to jobs, while others see it as an opportunity. What's your take on it?
Automation is a powerful tool that can be used for both good and bad. It's all about how we implement it and manage the transition.
So how exactly is automation affecting the way we work?
Automation is basically the use of technology to perform tasks that were previously done by humans. This can be anything from simple tasks like data entry to more complex tasks like driving a car or performing surgery.
It's like robots are taking over our jobs.
In a way, yes, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Automation can free up human workers from repetitive or dangerous tasks, allowing them to focus on more creative and fulfilling work.
But what about the people whose jobs are being automated away?
That's a valid concern. There's no doubt that automation will lead to job displacement in certain sectors, but it will also create new jobs in areas like software development, data analysis, and AI engineering.
So it's not about the disappearance of jobs. It's about a shift in the types of jobs that are available.
Exactly. We need to adapt to these changes by developing new skills and embracing lifelong learning.
It's a reminder that the future of work is constantly evolving and that we need to be prepared to evolve with it. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the microscopic world of cells to the vastness of the universe. What stands out to you from all these incredible discoveries?
What strikes me is how rapidly things are changing. We're living in an era of unprecedented scientific discovery and technological advancement. It's both exciting and a little bit daunting.
I agree, but I think the most important takeaway is that the future isn't something that just happens to us. We have the power to shape it, to make choices that will create a better world for ourselves and for generations to come.
Absolutely. Every discovery, every invention, every decision we make is a step towards the future.
This is your need to know.